Hello and welcome to Council Catch-Up. I'm your host, Derek Westby, here on WSTO TV. WSTO TV is on TDS channel 981 in HD, on Spectrum 981, on your Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV, as well as your Android and iOS devices, and on Facebook and YouTube. We're here to talk about the April 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting, and I'm here with Mayor Swadley. Welcome.
Morning.
So, you had a meeting last night. You did the call to order and all of that. You had some communications. Anything notable about that?
Yeah, in the communications I mentioned there were numerous proclamations in the packet for various departments. May is typically a month where we honor different folks in different departments. And I also mentioned our Volunteers of the Year, which included John Elverkrog, Sam Eifert, Troy Weiser, and Scott Fernholz, and Heather North. And we had a ceremony at the fire station last Friday. I know you posted pictures on social media of the event. Great crowd.
All right. And also just a recap of the reorganizational meeting that was last week. Who did we get for council president and council vice president?
So City Council selected Lisa Reeves as their new president. And she's indicated that she's going to be moving out of the district in the fall, so we anticipate this will be basically a 6-month appointment. And then Alder Brett Schumacher was selected as vice president.
All right. So back to the meeting from last night. Under old business was an annexation.
Yeah, so you might recall that we purchased some property just south of Racetrack Road in anticipation of expanding Racetrack Park. So that annexation is moving it from the town of Dunkirk into the city of Stoughton.
Okay. Under new business, there's a first reading of Ordinance 7 to amend Chapter 6 to allow the keeping of mini pigs.
So we were approached several months ago by some individuals that would like to move to Stoughton, and they have a pet pig, and apparently that's becoming more common in municipalities. So last night we had a first reading to discuss, what that might look like in an ordinance.
Okay. And then item number 8, Resolution 64, to write off some delinquent personal property taxes from 2019 to 2023.
Yeah, so over the years we've had businesses that we've had to write off their delinquent personal property taxes, and that's for the equipment that they own for their businesses. Typically, these are businesses that have either, gone out of business or they've moved out of the city of Stoughton, and those funds are uncollectible. Often they're minimal amounts, and we're just writing off the city's portion. And the personal property tax, there was legislation at the state level to eliminate that, and we've been told that will be made whole from the state on that lost revenue. So hopefully, this will be the last year that we'll have to go through this process.
All right. And then Resolution 65, which was item number 9, to amend the adopted budget for street construction projects.
Yeah, so oftentimes when we do the CIP budget, which is in the fall, we anticipate the road construction we're going to do. And once we actually get in there and start doing the engineering, sometimes the costs start creeping on us. We add things like additional stormwater, which may drive up the cost. Maybe there's additional sidewalk work because there's damage from sidewalks or street curb and gutter over the winter months, so we add them to the estimates. So we basically amend the budget before we borrow the money in the spring.
Okay. Resolution 66, a agreement with Rock Road Companies, Inc., for 2024 street and utility projects on West South Street.
So basically what we do is on our public roads, when we're getting ready to do road construction, we bid them out. And in this particular one, we received 5 bids to do the work. And then we're, by statute, we have to select what they would call the lowest responsible bidder. We're familiar with Rock Road. They've done some work in the past, so we're comfortable moving forward with them to do the construction.
And then the next item also relates to street construction, Resolution 67, entering into an agreement with Wolf Paving and Excavating for a little bit more work.
This is another company that we've worked quite often in the past, and they're going to be doing this section on Johnson Street, Greg Trail, all the way up towards Sand Hill School, which if you've ever been to that intersection, is extremely poor up there. There's been a lot of issues with water drainage over the years, and whenever we do the road construction, we try to address that, whether it's through additional storm waters or building up and crowning the road so the water drains off more efficiently.
All right. Resolution 68, item number 12, is to adopt the Teagan Park Master Plan.
So the Teagan Park is part of the Magnolia Springs, and there was a proposed off-road trail section on 4th Street when we approved the master plan. And after further review with the developers, it was decided that maybe it would be more advantageous to eliminate the off-road trail because it won't fully connect anyway, and then to add a trail spur north of Orchard Street that connects to other existing trails through the development. And eventually those trails will lead you to Man Park in a couple different ways. You can go down South Page Street, or you could go down the trail that will be going to the side of Isham Street down to Lowell Park and then cut over on Milwaukee Street. So we think that this gives us more flexibility on the trail system, and it also preserves a wetland.
All right. And then the last item on the agenda was Resolution 69 of 2024, approving the City of Stoughton Park Design Guidelines.
So the park design guidelines were approved a few years back, and after conversations with our sustainability committee, we thought it would be advantageous to include some language into the design guidelines that related to sustainability and what our expectations would be. The design guidelines is a document that we basically send to developers when they're looking at doing a subdivision, because we want them to know up front what the expectations are as far as the land dedication, what features we'd like to preserve, and in this case, what sustainability efforts that we would like to have in there.
All right. And that's all we had for the April 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting. We'll see you guys next time on Council Catch Up.